Right, a couple of things that hold people back within the once they're getting started within the industry sector. A lot of people tend to get involved in what we call procrastination. Procrastination is when you put something off. Tomorrow never comes, I'm going to get around to it later. I've got a busy schedule, I've got the kids to sort out, I've got to run around, do the errands, I've got to do the ironing, as I heard earlier today, things like that. Those things are important, sure they are. Hey, you've got to do them. But your priorities need to be in place so that you don't digress, procrastinate, and eventually not actually get to the most important things, which is obviously your priority of making your life a better place to be in. Why do people do it? Usually pain. Having to do it is difficult. Maybe they don't have enough energy. Most of the time they're afraid of actually going over that hurdle to have to make those next steps, and they then fall into other areas of fears of fear of failure and fear of people, which I'll get into at a later date, but I might touch on now in a minute. The other area that people tend to fall into is that they sweat the small stuff. They worry about little details. They get so involved in how something is put together, all the nuts and bolts, the cogs, the whiz bangs and what's its. They literally don't tend to understand that they've got to do something to get something back. So if you try something, only then will you figure out how it works. Why it works is more important oftentimes than how it works. But of course, a lot of people get paralyzed by sweating the small stuff. Questions: what does this word mean? How does that thing work? Why does it do this? What's the other thing? It doesn't help to always understand that. Sometimes it's better to try something, get some successes, feel better about what you're doing, and then push on forwards. None of us are angels. We all feel these things, and to some extent we have to use our higher sort of reasoning to say, hey, look, I'm falling into that place, I'm procrastinating, I'm digressing, I'm sweating the small stuff, okay? And a lot of our problems are actually born out of our fears of it not working for us. Perhaps it might not happen. What if, you know, you're the only person that can't make this thing work? Maybe you're doing something wrong. Maybe you don't think you've got the personality. Lots of things go through people's minds, lots and lots and lots of things. A lot of the times they are holding us all back. You might have a fear of people, how they might reject you or treat you. You might have issues with thinking that you're being judged, which in today's era is very, very easy, because everybody is judging everybody. I mean, you will be listening to this, judging me, looking at my environment, looking at me. How many of you look at the celebrities when they're on these Zooms and look at the background and think, oh, look at that, and look at that, and oh, look at what they're wearing. That's to be human, and hey, that's the way we're wired. So understanding some of these things allow you to have a process of not getting into those places. How do you not procrastinate? Well, you take an action and you prioritize. You put the most important things that move your life forwards, that, if you like, move your life forward and take your life in the direction you want it to go in, and put aside the things that won't matter 5 years from now, things that are small that don't matter to you won't matter, you won't even think about them, probably won't even remember them 5 years from now. You try not to take on other people's opinions and thoughts because they're really not living your life. You work on those areas that you can change, and you aspire to be the best you can possibly be, because that's all that you are at the end of the day. And put aside the qualities in ourselves, that little nagging doubt in our heads tends to be there all of the time, talking to us about, you know, who we are and what we think. We tend to think more negatively most of the time, and try and overwrite that by using the law of substitution, which means that literally that horrible thought comes in. Oh gosh, I feel tired today. Oh, I feel vitalized. I get some energy. I'm going to go through the day, get some successes. I'm going to feel better. Try and overwrite those qualities of thoughts if you can with that thinking, because all successful people do it. I mean, you know, I'm saying this today, but there's so many examples. You know, all the millionaires that we work with, all of the people who are celebrities, and Will Smith's a big advocate of these qualities. So many people. And so I'm not the only one saying this to you. You know, it is a time-proven quality that we all need to get around, especially if you want the things we want in life.